So checkout time is 11 o'clock. Notice the time. I'm an early riser, but this one over here is not.
And I'll admit to it. A long and winding road.
Cut! You know you're in a close campground when you put your awning out and you give shade to the camper next to you. And that's how it's done. It's almost time for lunch.
I'm ready.
It's a good thing we left it in the truck. We need to strategize.
How's that?
In order to make it from running back and forth between us.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
So here we wait on USG, the United States government, who once again has managed to mess it up.
So we're about to leave Colorado. It's been a great stay.
Yeah. We were only here 2 nights.
Yeah.
But prior to that, we've been in Colorado for what, 3 weeks?
About 3 weeks. We're up in Loveland for a bit. Did Rocky Mountain National Park, and then of course we went to Golden.
Yep. Had a wedding in Lyons. Married our baby girl.
Yeah. And
now it's on to Utah for more amazing adventures.
Yeah, off to Moab. So this is a great campground. If you're ever traveling through right off of 70, it's called Canyon View. It's fairly new.
Grand Junction.
In Grand Junction, Colorado. Beautiful, beautiful place. I actually wish we had some more time to stay here and explore, but we don't because we're on a schedule to get to Moab. So yeah, Canyon View RV Resort.
Look at this. Show them. It's got like a dog enclosure. It has. It's just amazing.
Yeah, so let's hit the road. The drive to Moab from Grand Junction is only about 110 miles. GPS is going to take you I-70 to 191. However, if you get a chance, take the 128 scenic route exit like we did. You won't be disappointed. Pam and I would like to take this opportunity to thank our viewers and subscribers. If you're new here, we'd love for you to subscribe, and you can do that in 2 different ways. One is simply hit the subscribe button, or 2 is scan the QR code with your mobile device, and that'll take you right to our YouTube channel. Give us a like, and then hit that bell so you can be notified of new videos coming up. Well, that could be the best lunch stop ever.
I'd say it was. It was just fantastic. And look at this place. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, it wasn't because of the food so much. It was just basic stop, drive in the RV, have turkey sandwich kind of a thing. But the view is outstanding. Now we're getting into some more
canyons, and now we're getting into these really cool formations.
Yeah, this is like Monument Valley. But
so this is what the scenic drive off of I-70 to Moab.
Yeah, scenic drive 128. It's a little bit longer, but not much. Not much. Kind of cuts the corner, but a lot of tight turns. Show this if we can.
Taking this route takes you right alongside the Colorado River and through these beautiful canyons, which are iconic Utah scenery.
Well, good morning. We are headed to Arches National Park, and yeah, really excited about that. Can't wait. But just one little commentary here about RV sites and RV parks. We'd left Grand Junction. We only stayed there 2 nights, and we stayed at the Canyon View. Pretty new spot. I mean, very new. Actually, about 1.5 years old. Right off of I-70. You know, very nice wide spots. And now we came to Moab, to North Moab. I think it's called Sun Outdoors. And yeah, very convenient. But the tightest spots we've ever seen. It took us several times to maneuver. Probably should have videoed it yesterday to try and get in. And give you an example of how close we are to our RVs on either side. I could probably read their serial number on their chassis. It's that close. You know you're in a close campground when you put your awning out and you give shade to the camper next to you. But, it's convenient. I'm sure people...
I told the lady next door to us if she needed any sugar, let me know. I'll just pass it across the window to her.
I guess the only good news is the camper that's on our campsite doesn't have any really windows in that side. Because I told them when they pulled in, I said, you guys should have called us because we could have saved you a hole in your camper. You could have just stayed with us. You're that close anyway. So anyway, we are off to Arches.
And just for your information, anyone who's not been here before, because this is my first time, I think it's your first time to be in Utah, pretty much.
Well, not Utah, but first time to here.
This area. Okay, if you don't have a Jeep or some kind of off-road vehicle, you are just not the in crowd.
That's right.
We are not the in crowd.
Yeah, we don't have a Jeep.
I'm hoping that we could actually rent one and do a little off-roading. So.
Well, we can. You don't have to hope. You just have to pay. Well, and I'm pretty sure we can get one. So, all right, off to Arches. See you there. We visited Arches in late September, and even though we had a time reservation, the wait was about 20 minutes. There's only a single entrance to Arches, so if you arrive during primetime season, you might expect a longer wait.
So here we wait on USG, United States government, who once again has managed to mess it up.
Gonna give you a lesson in efficiency right here. See how this goes. Have it all ready. Have your timed entry, your park pass, and your ID. Because if you don't, you're getting ousted. Morning.
Morning. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Need that first.
Thank you very much.
You need these?
Oh, you guys are all prepared. I love it.
Yeah.
Would you like a map?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please.
All right. Please show the green dot on the map to the ranger at the stop sign ahead of you.
Okay. Thank you.
Have a good time.
Thank you.
And that's how it's done.
Located just 5 miles north of Moab, Arches National Park contains the world's largest concentration of natural sandstone arches. Although there are over 2,000 arches, they're located within the park's 76,000 acres. The park also contains an astounding variety of geological formations. Colossal sandstone fens, massive balanced rocks, soaring pinnacles, and spires dwarf visitors as they explore the park's viewpoints and hiking trails.
So we're at, this is the Park Avenue area.
Park Avenue Trail.
Yeah. What time does the buses run?
Huh?
Do the buses run here? I'm trying to get to Central Park. My clothes.
I was looking for the Christmas display.
I know. Well, we're a little early for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's coming up in a couple of months. So anyway,
This is
pretty cool. And this is right in the beginning, really, of the park of Arches. So you get into Park Avenue. So it's like you go through the city, and then you go to the country. Let's go hike down here. The Park Avenue Trail is one of the first attractions you'll see within Arches National Park after the entrance. It's a 1-mile trail that follows the bottom of the canyon at the feet of some of the park's gigantic and well-known monuments.
I'd sing The Sound of Music, but this isn't quite the same environment as this.
That's a different country, I think. Some of the formations that you'll see are the courthouse towers, the organ, the Tower of Babel, and one interesting one called the Three Gossips. It looks like 3 ladies standing around just talking to each other. see balanced rock here in Arches. If you remember right, if you watched our Wisconsin video from last year, and I'll post a link up here, change hands to do that. We did there was a balanced rock in Devil's Lake Park that we did, but that was a little balanced rock. That rock was probably about the size of me. This rock is a bit bigger. Well, what did they say? 72 million pounds?
Yeah.
It's a little bit bigger. A little bigger, not much. I gotta lose a little bit of weight, but and then there was a chip off the old block rock next to it.
He fell.
Fell. Yeah, he couldn't hang. 1975 he fell.
It's so crazy when you look at that, though, that it's even still. But they were talking about there's a layer just below the largest boulder that's white colored, and it has a very high calcium bicarbonate or whatever.
Didn't do well in chemistry, but
so it works as
a binder.
A binder,
yeah.
Kind of like cement.
Okay, let's go get a little bit better viewpoint.
Hope it doesn't fall right now.
I know, that'd make quite a noise. Well, it looks like you could walk pretty much all around it, and we're probably at the spot that if it ever does fall, it would fall right here. So Pam, you want to have lunch right here? So I always thought the Delicate Arch was much bigger, but it is a lot bigger when you go on the Delicate Arch Trail like we were supposed to do. But we did the Delicate Arch viewpoint, and we'll do the Delicate Arch Trail, but we decided today, since we've done every other trail, that we're going to do that another day.
When we have fresh legs.
You can actually see Delicate Arch a couple different ways. The lower viewpoint, this is the higher viewpoint, and then actually under the arch. So we will do that another day when we have fresh legs, as Pam said. So you want to go to national parks? This is what you got to do.
Well, wait, this is what you have to do if you don't plan months and months in advance. And by the way, excuse me, we just got back from the hot tub.
We were hiking and we did a hot tub. Get in the water. So we're trying to get back into Arches, so let's let the madness begin. Starting in 2020, the larger national parks implemented a timed reservation system. In order to increase our chances, Pam and I both logged in with our individual account to recreation.gov. Right at the top of the hour, we'd both hit that button and hope that we'd get a time to get in. Arches actually seem to be pretty easy, better than most. It's day 3 in MOAB, but day 2 in the Arches. So we're going back to finish up what we didn't see a couple days ago. So what, Delicate Arch? This time we're actually going to go to Delicate Arch, and then Landscape Arch, and then Devil's Playground. Sounds a little iffy to me, but anyway, so let's head out. Day 3 of MOAB. Here we go.
The Devil's Garden Trail is the longest and most difficult to maintain trail in the Arches National Park. It's also one of the most fun. You'll be rewarded with a number of well-known arches, but be prepared because there is some rock scrambling.
So we made it to Landscape Arch. I call it Landscape Rock, and Pam corrected me, but it is a rock, but it's in the form of an arch. So it's a pretty easy hike in here. It's about 1.9 miles round trip to here, so less than a mile. We're going to go on from here, but they definitely say that this arch is not going to be long-lived because you can kind of see how thin it's become at the top. And
only, what, 5 or 10 more million years?
I was thinking 3 to 5 more million years, but, you know, I took 6 months of geology in high school, so what do I know? What's really cool about the rock formations here is, it's kind of like that game you played as a kid, like when you traveled and you looked at the clouds, or you just laid in your backyard looking at the clouds, and you try and name them, and your friends, might think it's something different, but you'd find an elephant, or or a dolphin, or my cousin Vinny. I mean, stuff like that. We've named a few. This one we're going to call, it may be named already, but we're going to call this one Flying Saucer Rock. Because it looks like a flying saucer.
Yeah.
We'll show you when we get back down a little bit again. The Freight Train rocks, because it's a whole collection, and then there's Tombstone rocks. But one of Pam's favorites are rocks that we can't actually tell you what they look like, but you can just imagine.
If anyone has been to Arches National Park and they've seen what I saw, let me know, because is it just me? I don't know.
And
everywhere I look.
I'd normally say leave a comment below, but don't, because we'll probably get banned from YouTube. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So we'll try and point more rocks that we name that may already be named, but we're going to rename them anyway to what we want to name them as we do more of the hike. And this one is Chair Arch, Lounge Chair Arch. It's almost time for lunch.
I'm ready.
It's a good thing we left it in the truck, not some glorious place to. Yeah. So we could either have lunch, like looking at some arch over some overlook, or we could have lunch by the restrooms here in the parking lot.
I didn't bring any pickles.
Well, it's peanut butter and jelly.
I know, but
That's just wrong. That's just wrong. It's time to play Name That Rock Formation. Leave a comment below of what you think that might be. We've actually come up with 2 names for it so far. The first one was Freight Train Rock. As you can just kind of see, they're just sort of symmetrical. But I guess the more I look at it, and that's kind of the cool part about this game, covered wagon train rock. Hopefully you can see it in the GoPro. So yeah, just all out there. And if you listen closely, you can hear the horses and the wheels spinning. No, you can't. I'm just making that up. So you tell us what you think in the comments below. Is it Freight Train Rock or Covered Wagon Rock, or something else?
Because
you
I'm
might say.
sure that the national park is going to change the name to whatever we recommend, right?
Probably not. Probably not. No. Or maybe they haven't named that one yet. That looks cool. So yeah, tell us what you think in the comments. Okay, so we're saving the most famous one for last.
yeah, let's spin around here and show them what that sign says.
Oh, yeah, I got a second.
Somebody
said this was a pretty easy one, except when we got here. The Delicate Arch. This is, I think, from what I understand, and I'll have to correct this, but what I understand is this is the one that you see on the Utah plate.
Oh, yeah,
License
it
plate.
is.
So
I know that.
Delicate Arch, the most famous one. So 3 miles. They call it a difficult trail.
Is it 3 in, 3 out?
I think it's just. I think it's just 3. We did this. We did it from the viewpoint yesterday, as you'll see in the video. But today we're going up close and personal with it. So we'll see you there, and on the way there, and all that stuff that we do while we're hiking. All right. I think this is the grueling final push right here. You can see all those people that look like ants up there. Yeah, it's people. That'll be us soon. I think that's the last part of it. I think we're about halfway, more than halfway right now.
0.7.
But now it's like straight up. This is probably, I don't know, 300 feet and 400 feet. So we'll see you at the top or in the middle. Well, Pam and I took a water break
Sorry, there's a lot of heavy breathing going on.
A sanity break and a health break. Guess we still have this more to do.
At least it's not far.
Yeah, it looks, I'm sure the camera doesn't really show the significance of it, but we'll show you from the top.
The arch, which features an opening 46 feet high and 32 feet wide, is the largest freestanding arch in the park. This arch is probably the most widely recognized landmark in Arches National Park, and an interesting fact is that the Olympic torch relay for the 2002 Winter Olympics passed through the arch. But just be forewarned, it's not an easy hike. It contains a significant climb up to a steep, slick rock slope. There's no shade and it gets quite hot in the summer, so be sure to take plenty of water.
We're done with Arches. Talk about finishing strong. What did we do?
We did. We should be proud.
So Pam's got the final tally here. If you can't tell by the sweat on the face, that should be an indication, but
8
what?
miles.
8 miles.
Probably for some people that's nothing, but
Yeah. Well,
for us that was
for
kind
us
of a lot.
it's a lot. And you know, it's I mean, it's
We're
not
old.
and it's not hot here, but you're in the sun a lot. We had some shade in that first hike. There's very little shade going to Delicate Arch.
Is my face red?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This might show you no shade.
Yeah, but beautiful, definitely worth it. Bring lots of water. Do it early if you can, or I guess even late in the day. We just finished up. It's 5:10.
So the bad part about doing it this time of the day and returning at 5:10 like we did is the west sun is in your face the whole time on the way back. So that was kind of
coming down the hill, but
but
you are coming down the hill as opposed to going up the hill, which I think coming down with the sun on your face is much easier than going up with the sun even at your back.
True.
So anyway, Arches National Park, just amazing stuff. And now we're heading back to hit the hot tub. Thank goodness this RV park had a hot tub. Because if it didn't, I'm not sure I would have been able to hike 3 days in a row. So see you back there.